Hi children, how are you all? I hope all you are fine. Children, in that previous video what we discussed in my worksheet 3a, right? In this video we are going to discuss about that lines and angles concept 4. Concept 4 is related to here types of lines. Children, already I told you know what is the definition of that line. Here line means the joining points of the joining of the set of points, the set of infinite points or the set of points in a straight path. Okay, joining the set of points in a straight path, then one of the figure will be formed. That figure is called that a line. Okay, and that is a straight path. No, then we will call that one as a straight line. And in the same way here, types of lines. See that types of lines. Okay, see here, what is the first type of line means? That is intersecting lines. Intersecting lines. So, intersecting lines means what is the meaning of that intersecting lines? Already you know about that intersecting lines. Here, two lines passing through the same point or two lines having the same common point. Then we can say those two lines are intersecting lines. See here, what is the definition? If two lines are passing through the same point, if two lines are passing through the same point, passing through the same point, then the lines are said to be intersecting lines, or then the lines are called intersecting lines. Understood, ma? See here one of the point is there. Through that point here, one of the line passing through that given point. Okay, another line also passing through the same point. Understood, ma? Here two lines passing through the same point means these two lines are having the same common point. Understood? See here, this is line L and this is line M. Understood? These two lines also passing through the same point give that name as P. Understood? Now here L and M are intersecting lines, and here we have that one of the point P. No, what we will call that point, ma? That point is called here point of intersection. Point of intersection. Understood? Or intersecting point. Intersecting point. Understood? See here two lines passing through the same point, then those two lines are called here intersecting lines, and that common point is called the point of intersection or intersecting point. Okay, ma, this kind of lines are called intersecting lines. Understood? Next type of lines, that is concurrent lines. What is that, ma? Concurrent lines. Concurrent lines. Concurrent lines means what? Intersecting lines means two lines passing through the same point. Now here three or more than three lines passing through the same point. Okay, three or more than three lines. See here how many lines we can observe here? L, M, N. This is O. That's it, no? Here four lines we can observe that these four lines passing through the same point, which means see here, ma, not only four lines, more than three lines, infinitely many number of lines passing through the same point. Already we know that, right? Now here these type of lines are called concurrent lines. Understood? What is the definition? Three or more lines, three or more lines passing through the same point. if three or more lines passing through the same point, then the lines are said to be concurrent lines, or then the lines are called concurrent lines. Okay, concurrent lines are also known as the family of lines. What is that, ma? Family of lines, also known as concurrent lines, also called as family of lines. Also known as family of lines. Understood, ma? Here say that those four lines here we can observe that L, M and O. These four are that concurrent lines, and these four lines also passing through the same point. Okay, name this point as P. Name that point as P. Now what we will call that point? Okay, in that concurrent lines, that intersecting point, okay, that point, intersecting point means that common point here. Understood? That point is called here point of concurrence. What is that, ma? Here P is called that point of concurrence or concurrent point. Concurrent point. Understood? Three or more lines passing through the same point, then we will call that lines are concurrent lines, and in the same way here that point, common point, is called here point of concurrence or concurrent point. Understood? And in the same way, concurrent lines also known as, also called as family of lines. How we will call them, ma? Family of lines. Understood? So this is about that concurrent lines. After this one we are having that parallel lines. What is that? Parallel lines. Parallel lines. Parallel lines means, children, just observe that on a plane just like this I drawn here two lines. What kind of lines these two are? These two are which kind of lines here? Children, these two are intersecting lines. How these two lines will be intersecting? Have you guessed it? Children, can you say that why these two lines are concurrent, why these two lines are intersecting lines here? Do you know that? See that, ma. Here arrow mark is there, no? Arrow mark is there means its continuation is there. Yes or no? It can be extended. Arrow marks there means it can be extended endlessly in both directions. Just to say that it is extended in this direction, and here also arrow mark is there, no? Just to say that after extension, these two lines are having here somewhere one of the intersecting point. Okay, not only these two lines, if you want to draw like these two lines, then we can say these two also intersecting lines. How we can say that these two lines after extension, somewhere those two will meet. Understood, ma? Okay, that's why we will call those two lines are intersecting lines. Understood? Now here what about that parallel lines? See that. Draw the two lines on a plane. Draw two lines on a plane, and those two lines never meet at any point. Now can you say that these two lines are intersecting lines, ma? Okay, what I told you that if you draw that any two lines anywhere on a plane, then those two meets somewhere, I told you that, right? Now see that here, these two lines I drawn in a straight path. Understood, ma? Now here these two lines also, they never meet at any point. Just to see that here these two lines are, this is extended in this way and this is extended in this way. Am I clear? And in the same way, right side also extended like this. Is there any common point have you observed here? There is no common point here. Understood, ma? That's why here these two lines are never meet at any point. Understood? Then here what is the definition of that parallel lines? If two lines L, M, if two lines they never meet at any point. They never meet at any point, meet at any point, then the lines are said to be parallel. Then the lines are said to be parallel. Understood, ma? Which means here they never meet at any point. And one more thing here, the distance between these two lines is always same at any point. Okay, just now only I told you that they never meet at any point. Okay, but one thing, those two also straight lines only, no? A straight line is having how many points, ma? Actually, end points are not there, but straight line is made up of set of infinite points only, no? That's why every straight line is having that. Every straight line has infinitely many points, but there are no any end points. Understood? Now here see that just this is the combination of infinitely many points only, no? By joining the infinitely many points in a straight path, then we will get that a straight line. Understood? At any point, if you want to check the distance between at any point in between those two lines, that is same only. Same distance you will get. Understood? That's why here what is that point, ma? Here the distance between parallel lines is always same at any point. Same at any point. Understood, ma? And here what is that symbol which indicates that parallel lines? Okay, see here. Parallel lines denoted by the symbol, parallel lines denoted by the symbol what is that symbol here? Two slant lines. Okay, this is the symbol for that parallel lines. Okay, how we can represent these two lines, ma? Now here L is parallel to M. How we can write this one? L is parallel to M. How we can read this one? L is parallel to M. Understood? So this is about that parallel lines. Okay, and one more thing, children, in the previous videos we learned about that what we learned, ma? Angle we learned, right? What about that angle? By joining that two lines at a common point, we can observe that angle. I told you that, right? By joining the two rays also at that common point, we can observe an angle. Okay, here what is the angle between parallel lines? What is that angle here? Is there any angle can we observe here? There is no angle we can observe here. Why? Because here there is no any intersecting point. They never meet at any point, means then here how we can observe that any angle? It is not possible to measure that angle here. That's why here the angle between two parallel lines is always 0 degrees. Angle between two parallel lines is always 0. Is always 0 degrees. Understood, ma? So this is about that parallel lines. After this one, we are having that perpendicular lines. What is that next one? Perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines means here, see that two lines intersect at 90 degrees angle. Okay. One of the line which intersects other line at 90 degrees angle. Then we will call those two angles, those two lines are perpendicular lines. Understood? Intersecting lines, those two lines are intersected at 90 degrees angle. If two lines intersected at 90 degrees angle, then those two lines are said to be perpendicular. Okay, here this is L and this is M. Okay, L perpendicular to M. L is perpendicular to M. Now here say that what is the definition, ma? If two lines intersect at 90 degrees angle, then those lines are said to be, said to be perpendicular. Said to be perpendicular. Understood ma? See here, two lines intersected at a point here, intersected at a point, okay, by the angle 90 degrees. Okay, intersecting point, at that point here the angle is 90 degrees, then we can say that those two lines are perpendicular lines. And what is the symbol of perpendicular lines? Perpendicular lines denoted by the symbol or represented by the symbol, perpendicular. Okay, how to read this one? L is perpendicular to M. L is perpendicular to M. Did you understand this one, ma? Okay, this is about that perpendicular lines. And children, here finally we are having that coincident lines. What are those, ma? Coincident lines. Final type of lines. Last one, coincident lines. Coincident lines means two lines overlapped on each other. Two lines overlapped on each other. Here this is L, and here on this line, here we can observe that one more line, that is M. Understood? Then what is the definition of that coincident lines, ma? Here two lines overlapped on each other. Okay, if two lines overlapped on each other, then those lines are said to be, coincident. To be coincident lines. Understood, ma? Now here how many common points are there here? Just observe that this is a straight line. On this straight line we can observe that infinitely many points. And M is also a straight line, and this is also having that infinitely many points. Okay, then here how many common points are there here? There are infinitely many common points. Okay, if those two lines are coincident lines, then those two lines are having infinitely many common points. Okay, coincident lines are having infinitely many common points. Infinitely many common points. Understood, ma? So this is about that coincident lines. So children, how many types of lines we learned, ma? 5 types of lines. First one is intersecting lines, second one concurrent lines, third one parallel lines, fourth one perpendicular lines, fifth one coincident lines. Now children, see that intersecting lines, I told you, no, these two lines are intersecting lines. Yes or no? Okay, here how many common points are there? Only one common point is there. Now children, tell me that at that common point, how many angles we can observe here? For every intersecting point, at every intersecting point, we can observe that 4 angles, ma. Say that this is one of the angle, and this is second angle, 3, 4. Okay, from this one what we can observe here, if two lines are intersecting, at that intersecting point we can observe that 4 angles. What is the definition of that angle here? The union of two rays. Okay, or the union of two lines. For example, if you will take the two lines like this, okay, then also here we can observe that one of the region, okay, at that common point, then we can say that this is also one of the angle. Understood? And in the same way here, just to say that here this is a point O. Okay, for example, A, B, C, D. Okay, OA is that one of the ray. OC is one of the ray. the union of two rays at that common point, here we can observe that one of the angle. And in the same way, OA is one of the ray, OD is another ray. At this point, here we can observe that one of the angle. Okay, in this manner here, if two lines are intersecting, then here at that intersecting point, we can observe that how many angles ma? 4 angles we can observe that. Understood? Depends on this one, we are having that one of the worksheet. After that one, we are having concept 5, which is related to angles made by a transversal. Understood ma? There we will discuss about this one. Okay, thank you all.